Um, Oliver Regan 118380, Regan's Retina Security. So this is the main page of the security system with four options: scan to access, request access, develop Retina image, and request reports, which is labelled with staff only. For the three scenarios, Tim is a new student at the University of Waikato. He would like access to the rooms he needs for his 3 classes and also the R-Block labs for after-hour assignments. So Tim is going to click request access. I'll just bring him up to a new screen. So he's come up to the request access screen now. Tim's then going to chuck in his username by clicking that, entering in his username there, as well as his ID number. Here that is. Okay, then on the left hand side is a list box with the available classes he can choose from. So you've just got RGO1, RGO2 for example, and then RGO2 with after hours beside it. He can either add or remove, so Tim is choosing 3 classes, I believe, yes, and 1 class for after hours. So he's going to choose RGO2, RGO2 after hours, and RGO5. So that's just by clicking add, and if Tim didn't want one, say he chose RGO4 by mistake, he can just click remove, select it, and then click remove, and it will go back. By clicking main down the bottom, it would send you back to the main screen. Now that Tim has everything filled out, he can click continue, which will bring us on to the next screen. Which is the second request access to screen, so Tim is able to scan his Retina since he already has his username and ID already put in the previous page. He doesn't need to add that in, he just needs to line up his eye and click scan Retina. If he needed to add another class, which he's forgotten about, you can just click back. Once his Retina is scanned, the program will automatically take him back to the main page. Right. Cool. Dr. Michael Mayo, so this is second scenario. Dr. Michael Mayo has just been asked to teach some extra courses for the Faculty of Education. He would like to request access to those rooms. So through the same process, by clicking request access, then moving on to the request access to Tim, just like before, we'll just put in his ID and his username. His username and ID, unfortunately the same one. Selecting the same rooms as Tim. By clicking add, removing the ones he doesn't want, then clicking continue. He can then request access to those classes, and for security reasons he then needs to scan his Retina just so it lines up with his eye if it was already on file. The third scenario, the chairperson of the computer science department would like to confirm some of the room's access request for his students and his staff. So that is down the bottom here under the request access button. It's further away than the standard 3 because that's only for staff and I didn't consider it as significant as the other 3. So what chairperson is going to do is going to click request reports, which will bring him up to the request reports screen. However, before proceeding, a pop-up is going to appear. So for security, okay, where he's going to have to enter his username and his password to continue. So there's his username, his little password. Okay, continue. And if it's successful, he can go on to the next page. However, if it's a student trying to get in on the chairperson's or just a standard staff member's account, incorrect entry will appear, forcing them to redo their username and password. However, it's become successful, so he's going to move on, click and continue to the next screen. Okay, where he's prompted with a very simple screen: enter the time of request he wants and to enter the room of request. If he no longer wants to request reports, he can click main down here, which sends him back to the main screen. So what he's going to do, he's going to put in the time of request, 7 o'clock, the room he wanted, which is RGO2, because apparently it was Tim that broke all the computers conveniently, and then he's just going to press send. Okay, so that's going to go off to the department manager, who will be able to send him personally the reports of who was at the room at that hour, so he can personally print them off or highlight or do anything specific he wants to that form. Okay, so if we just go back to main, for example, now, so if we go back to the main screen, which is this one here, and say, so just the other features of the application, if say a random student such as myself just wants to scan to access, so I want to now access RG10, I click scan to access, which brings me up to the scan retina screen. Okay, then all I need to do is very simple, just click scan retina, and it'll scan my eye and it'll either open the door or not open the door, keep it locked, or I can just click main if that's not what I wanted to do. Click main, and take me back to the main screen, which is this one. Okay, the other option, if I want to develop my retina image, so I've clicked develop retina, brings me up to the screen. So I need to enter my username. Up there. Also enter my ID. Right, and I'm prompted with 3 buttons, either main to go back to the main screen, request access, which is an option to choose, or which is optional, you don't have to take that, or scan retina. So enter my username, I've entered my ID, and then my retina's in place, I can click scan retina, it's going to scan it, it will stay on the screen. Now, because I've just developed a retina image, I can then request access to buildings. So if I'm a new student, I can just go develop retina image, scan it, it'll stay on the screen, then I click request access, and immediately it takes me to the request access screen without having to go back to the main or have to fluff around with anything else. So it's very simple and quite accessible to use. That covers all 3 scenarios provided, as well as showing you the rest of the program. The paper prototype that's written down is far clearer, so it provides you a wee bit more detailed example rather than just hand drawn, as I found it far easier to alter this way. Thanks.